And
Yeah.
isn't that the honeycomb leggings? Like, isn't it the
Honeycomb
honeycomb
tees.
design? Yeah.
I can't get them to. Why is the leg inside the leg? This is for the bloopers. This is ridiculous. And then loud, all I hear is TikTok. Like what?
Like,
I'm like,
no.
I wouldn't even known about the TikTok thing until Mandy said something about
I would have been like, not
TikTok.
TikTok.
You still need butt shot. Okay, let me stop. Now I'm going too far.
Hey besties, welcome to the next episode of Major Trend, the Fashion Vodcast, where we discuss major and current events and how they affect the fashion industry. Plus, slay you with the bossiest style tips and give you the scoop on the hottest trends. We three are your besties. I am Mandy, owner and personal stylist of Style Slay, where there's a style for every story.
Hi, I'm Amanda, closet reseller on Poshmark, Macari OfferUp, and an upcoming entrepreneur for the brand Queen Aziz.
Hi, I'm Brittany, owner of the Besties brand, a clothing and accessories boutique for the on-the-go getters, social media influencer, and YouTuber. Today's topic is about being Black in the fashion industry, and we will also touch on Juneteenth since that is right around the corner. Later, we want to put your fashion knowledge to the test, so you don't want to miss this. Stay tuned. So, what is Juneteenth? Juneteenth, also known as Freedom Day, occurred in Texas on June 19, 1865. It is the emancipation of slaves in the final leg of freedom. Slaves could not use clothing as a form of self-expression and were given the most raggedy clothes that were not comfortable as to make them not look too fancy by law. According to Juneteenth.com, during the initial days of the emancipation celebrations, there are accounts of former slaves tossing their raggedy garments into the creeks and rivers to adorn clothing taken from the plantations belonging to their former masters. So clothing is a big part in celebrating Juneteenth because now we get to express ourselves and reclaim that freedom back as we were not able to do before, and sort of closing that chapter in our lives as far as slavery.
Yes.
Free-ish. Not really completely.
Right, we not free,
free-ish.
but we free-ish because we're still under some type of laws. When you say form of self-expression, I think about how fashion is making a statement without opening your mouth. So when we think of that, what comes to mind is like powerful statements like such as the KKK attire, the Black Panther Party attire, and such as like the African culture and the Korean cultures. All of those four groups, you know exactly who they are, what they stand for, good or bad. The KKK is bad. We don't want to see them. So when we see that, we know exactly that's danger. Like, when you see the Black Panther Party movement and everything, we know that, oh, we fighting for a cause. Okay, Black power. Okay. And when you see African cultures and Korean cultures or Indian cultures, their garments express their religion, and that's making a statement without them opening their mouth. And you know that that's a distinct group that you are not a part of, but you respect. So
yeah, and once we were able to reclaim that freedom back, brands owned by other races other than Black decide to copy our styles and make them into their own and make a profit from it.
Yes, like,
and then selling it for a fortune, and they want to call it original.
Right, and that's one thing I cannot stand. Like, don't come it goes with saying like they love our culture, but they don't love us. And that really pisses me off because they come down here, like you said, Brittany. They come down here in the urban community areas and like, oh, let's see what's going on with them, how they're creating, what they're creating, and then like stealing ideas and incorporate what you just said, like in their own designs, selling it for a higher profit, and they done got it from us, and it's like we're getting ripped off. Also, exactly. It's like kind of
we need that money,
right? We do need that money. We trying to make it, but it's so hard right now. But it's kind of like thinking about what we learned in school, like the trickle up theory. Like, it's coming from the lower parts of the world or of the city or whatever, like
right,
New York,
urban
say
culture.
For instance, urban cultures, like in New York, like they go to the urban communities in Brooklyn and all of that. Like they see, oh, they're wearing this, and like they stole from us before, like baggy jeans, do rags or whatever. The braids, which Kim K had, and they said it was a new trend. Here we go with that new trend again. Okay, like that's not a new trend. You know how, if you guys don't know, that's how what the uproar was about, because they said that she made it a new trend, but Black people been doing this forever and been looking down upon for that, for having braids. And it's just a functionality with our culture. Like, we create stuff for functionality. They create stuff, but it's stolen from us.
Right.
So,
well, like the braids, those
yeah.
are functional for us because we don't have hair like this.
Right.
And we need to, it's a protective style. So
Right,
we need to keep our hair intact. And all of our stuff is it's different. And that's why they take from us, because it's something that they wouldn't think about. But it's different for them. It's not different for us because this is what we do. And it's an art. Right. And like Kendall, for example, Kendall did that Vogue cover, had a big afro.
Whew. Hey,
and like, now, okay, you picked Kendall Jenner, but why not use a nice, famous Black? Because there's plenty of Black models that they could have chosen, who, even though they might not have a real fro, but that's their identity anyway. If they were to take the wigs and all that off.
They could have got somebody that with a real afro to do the cover and not put an afro on. Yeah.
Right. And the bad part about that is they probably use a Black lady to fix the afro. That's what's pissing me off. That's ridiculous.
And she just sat there and
let it
exactly for you.
And she was getting paid. Like, I understand that, but at the same time, the audacity of this of Vogue, and that brings us to another topic, like when the controversy in 2019 about Dapper Dan and Gucci. Like, Gucci was actually selling the bomber jackets that Dapper Dan used to make back in the 80s. Like, he used different, of course he used like different, he revamped like the different larger brands because people weren't able to afford those or whatever. So it's like he revamped it into his own and started selling to the rappers and like the hot girls of the, the 80s and 90s and stuff, like making him a household name. And then here we are in 2019. They want to take his design, his bomber jackets, and make it into, this is a new style. Like, but Black Twitter was like, no, baby.
We will dig up some stuff and we're gonna get you. You're not gonna get away with this.
Like, Dapper Dan was like, nope, this is a disgrace. He even said that now he's collaborating. I would rather see more collaboration with that instead of stealing from us and calling it something their own. Right. Like, it's just crazy. Like, once you ask the original person, like, make them come up. That's what they're trying to do. Let them come up, with that and give them exposure.
And I get it, like, because that's how fashion keeps going around. It's like you do kind of take older pieces or older styles and you revamp it, make it more modern. Like, that's how fashion keeps going. People do copy. I mean, that's how it goes on. But this is different. This is like pure stealing it. And you're not even saying I was inspired by this person. You're just like, this is my design. I made it and my name is on it and nobody else. I'm the first person that came up with this. That's different. That's like, you might as well call that counterfeit because you're not even saying you're inspired by it. Like,
you can be inspired by it, but damn, don't steal.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that, but don't just blatantly steal and be like, I came up with this, and don't even give the other person credit for even coming up with that design in the first place. But because they're Black, you're not going to do that.
Right, because they probably figure no one knows this person, so it's okay.
Exactly.
So another thing that I thought about, that I came across this recent article talking about the butt crack leggings, which is basically, we've seen this in our neighborhoods and our culture from different boutiques, small owned boutiques around the St. Louis area.
Go get mine.
And I read this article saying that it became famous because a white person on TikTok started wearing it and her boyfriend was looking at her butt and all that. And I'm sitting there looking like, well, we know that this trend, like the two-piece sets or whatever, and like the honeycomb leggings with the elastic down the butt crack, to accentuate your booty, that was out last summer in 2020. And now it's like it's regaining traction, and just because a white person did it went viral on TikTok. Like
they put a big name on it. They use TikTok as the name, the brand that created it, when reality, small boutique owners are the ones that bought the trend and started selling the trend last summer, and they're now just saying it's popular this summer when it's been out.
Right. It just
I didn't even know about the whole TikTok thing. Because I was thinking, like, for my boutique, of course, I'm like shopping on wholesale websites. I was seeing all those leggings all last year, but I thought it was popular because I've already seen people wearing them in like boutiques, but then I had no idea about the TikTok thing. Then I went to breakfast yesterday, which was Saturday. I have my 2 piece. I'm gonna go get it real quick.
I have like 2 pairs, but I got them from Rainbow.
That's where, so this set came from Rainbow. This is the legging.
Mine looks like that, but they orange and black.
I got the orange and black ones too. Ooh, they got like a little out. Yeah.
And isn't that the honeycomb leggings? Like, isn't it the honeycomb design? Yeah.
I can't get them to. Why is the leg inside the leg? This is for the bloopers, because this is ridiculous. Okay, and this is what the back looks like. So this is the seam, how it's like stitched together. And then I had this on. I'm walking. It's like a group of old little 70-year-old men, like 5 of them, whispering, staring, and then loud. All I hear is TikTok. Like, what? No. I'm like, I wouldn't even known about the TikTok thing until Mandy said something about it. I'm like, because I would have known what he was talking about. What is he?
I would have been like, not TikTok. No, not TikTok.
I just was like, no.
This is
not from TikTok. This is from
This is not from TikTok.
A year ago from our boutiques.
Right.
Because
like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Because I follow a lot of boutiques online, of course, like, you know, and I see it. Every boutique that I follow is Black owned, and it's like from everywhere from the DMV area to the St. Louis area, like, you know, Chicago, like every boutique had the same exact things last year, you know, and now it's like, just because it's with everything, just because it's popular on a popular site now is a whole worldwide trend. That gets on my nerves. That just, I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, that's that's what they do. They take our stuff and then it blows up when they do it.
Right.
Yeah.
Next it'll be in Lululemon. Next they'll be in Lululemon. Everybody be like, oh my gosh, my ass looks good.
Look at these new leggings.
Ooh.
You don't have to get butt shots anymore. You still need butt shots. Okay, let me stop. Now I'm going too far. Yeah, and then also like fast fashion brands like Fashion Nova, Akira,
Forever 21.
Yeah, so like them, they target us and they also steal from us too. So it's not even just like the high-end fashion designers, it's also stores like them. So yeah, let's get deeper into that topic. We got a lot to say.
Yes, we do.
Fast fashion brands basically target to the Black community because they know that they're going to spend the money, and they basically take the street styles that the community wears, at what's trending at the moment, and then they turn around and try to they market the Black community because they know that all the money is going to go into them, when in reality we should be putting our money into the smaller boutiques who who started the trends before the fast fashion companies. The fast fashion companies get it from the street styles and the runway, and then they don't really give recognition to the small boutiques.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. Yeah, because I can think back to many people who I saw, like it'll be Black people are quick to spend their Black dollars at this top, like the larger retailers, rather than spending with Black owned. And because of that, like some people may say, "Oh, I'm not shopping with Black owned companies because of the customer service is bad," like stuff like that. Like I've heard that many a times, and just like, but you know, like won't you give us a chance? Like, you know, like not everybody And I'm sure like in larger retailers, their customer service was bad at some point, and it probably still is, but you still continue to
people.
go. Right. And you still continue to go there.
Exactly. Like it's hard for us to be successful because, for example, with me, like I know my customer service is top notch, and I've worked in retail. That's all I've ever done. So in a lot of the stores that I've worked at, the number one priority is the customer. So I have a lot of experience with customer service, and I know mine is top notch. And then it sucks when you have other people saying, I don't really like shopping at Black boutiques because they did this, or I bought something, I didn't get my item. So then that just like puts a bad taste in their mouth. Right. But like you were saying, everybody's not the same, but they think we're unprofessional. But another thing too, not bashing Black boutiques, but I've noticed too that they do triple the prices a lot, because I'll be scrolling through my wholesale website, like I saw this at a boutique. This is this amount of dollars, and they'll literally triple the price. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah,
so that's another reason. Yeah, like so that makes people not want to shop there either, because like they're too expensive.
Yeah.
And then like you feel like you can't make any mistakes. Like we watched this video about Brandon Blackwood, NYC. I'll link his Instagram page. He has gained a lot of recognition for his little square box
bag,
purses.
His satchel bag,
his little satchel bags and box purses. So, and there was one mistake that he made with the design, because he asked everybody, he was like, should we add this or should we change this stripe on the bag? And everybody was like, yeah.
Right, trying to be transparent.
Exactly, like because you want to make sure that your customers like it, because they're going to be the ones wearing it. So that was nice of him to ask. So once he did that, the customer bot, of course, complained about it, was like, this is not the same as the picture at all. And now it's just like, it literally, I think he said it was number 1 trending on Twitter, or number 9 or something.
Because of word of mouth. Yeah, because of word of mouth.
Right.
Like, bad news travel really fast.
Exactly. So she put that one thing on Twitter, and everybody's like, oh my God, this is horrible. He has horrible customer service. I can't believe he did that. Because people remember the negative stuff more than the positive stuff. So of course, they're going to take that and run with it, and then just make him seem like he's the worst designer on the planet. When I'm sure Target, how many times has Target probably got your order wrong, or Fashion Nova didn't send you your items when they said they were going to send it to you, and you're still shopping with them. So
that's even new.
That just really makes me mad. That makes me so mad. Like you don't even give us a chance. And then when you do, we're held under a microscope so small that it's like you're watching our every move, and if we do one little thing wrong, we're done with you.
Exactly. And it's like, it's kind of like, Brandon Blackwood, what he was saying when we was watching the video, like, if one mistake is made, it's like, oh, we don't deserve to be here. And it's like, it's like, damn, like we can't make one mistake. And he's being proactive with trying to fix the mistake and letting you see his vulnerability, letting you see transparency, and he's really sorry about that. But it's like,
he even came on with his little bandage because he got his hospital.
Like, come on, he's in the thing working for us, like, to make sure your quality is good. He's so sorry about it. It was like, it just lets me see, like, Black people, like, oh my gosh, it's just like Black people are quick to criticize. If we just make one mistake, like, it's just like, damn, we can't do that. It's like Black people like, oh, you don't deserve to be with the top brands now because you have this one little mistake that destroyed your whole line of whatever you have, whether it's clothing or purses or whatever. And that just goes to show, like, that's crazy. Like, I can't believe it.
Black brands get basically scrutinized for making one mistake, but then you have these popular brands that do things that make mistakes, but people are still worshiping them, Jesus, and shopping with them.
Yes.
Which brings us to our third topic. For example, H&M recently put out the monkey shirt. 2018. Thank you, Brittany. They put out the monkey shirt where they chose to use a Black model instead of like an Asian or white model for the monkey shirt, and that just shows ignorance and no diversity. My thought on that whole thing is, where did it stop in the supply chain? Like, you knew this was ignorance. Why didn't it stop in the making of the supply chain before they advertise it? They let it go all the way to the advertisement part and on the website before somebody stopped it. Like, why was the voices in between? Why somebody didn't stop it in between before it got to that point?
Right. Like,
which makes me think, yeah, like, is there any Black people that work for this company, or is it all white ignorant people and thought it was cool to put that out for the public to see? No diversity. And even if there was a Black person, I'm sure their voice was overlooked in the process, and they still like did what they felt was best. When in reality, it's ignorance and diversity. Like, why would you put that on your website knowing that was ignorant and racist?
Or they want to claim that they didn't know. They claim that they probably didn't know,
which is impossible.
Apology. Yeah, like you don't know anything at all. Like, you had the shirt for it to be a little African boy that said the coolest monkey in the jungle. Probably the only Black model on that website anyway.
Pretty much.
And they chose him to wear it. Like, I don't think that was a coincidence. I think that was purposely that they had that specific model to model that shirt. And then for you to go all the way from the design, oh, this is a cool thing to put on a sweater, and to go up until putting it on the website for the customers to notice that, like, that was just ridiculous.
Yeah. Like, what are you guys doing? Like, what are you guys doing? Like,
nothing.
It's no way that they couldn't been caught. Like, oh no, you like you said, Brittany, like, who, like, both of y'all was saying, how did this get from the table, just an idea, to on the design table, to the production, now to the supply chain? Like, come on.
So the marketing part.
You had a whole photo shoot. Like, what the hell?
Yeah.
And they just were like, no. Well, actually, the boy looked pretty pissed off on that picture.
I wonder what his mama said, you know.
Standing right there looking at him. Go, son. Didn't say a word.
Yeah, I just don't understand it.
But yeah, and then, so in not only H&M, do y'all remember when Prada had the blackface keychain?
Oh.
And it was...
yeah, I remember what you're talking about, Brittany. It's like, it was a keychain with like the blackface, like the whole entire blackface person, like during the minstrel show.
From the book.
Yeah, like the minstrel show, what they used to do. And it's like, okay, here we go once again. You got big.
And that was also 2018.
Exactly. Like, what's wrong, girl? What was wrong with 2018, y'all? Like, people,
who was in the boardroom?
Yeah, who was in the boardroom?
These companies were showing their true colors.
Yes, they were.
And not only that, also 2018, that's where Gucci did the sweater, but it was like a turtleneck sweater, so the turtleneck part went over the face as a mask.
Yeah,
the white model wearing it. I'll put a picture, and then it had, of course, the sweater's black with red lips.
Yeah, big red lips.
Sorry, we didn't know that this was racist.
It's like, where y'all been? Like, where have y'all been? Because literally, this is what's in the history books. This is what people are getting upset about when other people show blackface, like during the Halloween season or something, like a white person do blackface. Like, you have seen multiple incidents with this, so why even put it on your thing? But I mean, it's kind of like we will boycott the Black culture. The Black people will boycott these brands, like the celebrities. They boycotted Gucci, of course. Say they was like, you know, I'm not shopping here anymore because this, and this. They did the same thing with Prada. We did the same thing with H&M.
How long did that last?
But it only lasted like maybe, I would say, a few months, almost a year. But then after that, people was like, well, you know, like, I'm still gonna shop here.
Sick.
Yeah, and that makes me upset because, like, people, if a Black brand does the same thing and they make a mistake, they vow to never ever shop there again. But these large corporations, they do blatantly disrespect the Black culture, knowing that what's the problem, and then You still like, oh, we'll give it a second, oh, we'll go back after it cool down, basically. Like, okay. And these corporations know that. So they keep on like, oh, well, that's gonna blow over.
See how much can we do? How much can we get away with? That's what I think. Like, you knew what this was. You were just trying to take something that you saw back in the day and you were trying to turn it into a new fashion trend. That's what you're trying to do. And you wanted to see if people still care about that. Like, it still is a touchy topic. It hits like that's racist, that will forever be the case. Like, that's not going to end. So for them to be like, oh, it might not matter as much because this was hundreds of years ago.
Yeah, but it's still
because they have uneducated people working in their corporate offices.
That's what it is.
And they think it's okay to put this stuff out when it's not. Like, you need some educated people to tell you what's right and wrong before it hits the advertisement stage or the sales floor. Like, why is there not some kind of system in these stores saying to stop something or to let something go? Like, you need a middle that's actually educated.
Yeah, when it comes to be honest. But be honest, Amanda, to that point, like, I don't even think they're uneducated. I just think they don't care. Like, literally, blatantly disrespectful and just don't care.
They showing their true colors, basically.
Yeah. And it's like, oh, regardless of what we show or what we do, like, it'll blow over. Like, it's just a headline for right now, but it'll blow over, which it did.
And it did.
Back to them, like, so.
Because it's a status thing, like, oh, I'm wearing. I couldn't believe that when after that blew over, and then you see them coming, taking pictures with bags of Gucci stuff. Why?
Right.
Like,
and it was
why
such
are you
an
trying
uproar.
It just happened, and like, now you're taking pictures with you got 5 Gucci bags in your hand. That doesn't look good to me. That just looks like you are just a suck up, in my opinion. And you don't care. Like, you're just going with the status thing. There were other places to shop at. You don't have to go right back to Gucci or Prada with that.
Yeah, they're supporting a company that don't support them. Support shop.
Most of their money comes from Black people, and we're the ones giving it to them. So that's probably why they felt like, well, let's just do this, because they're not going to care anyway. And they cared for like a second and then went back to their normal lives.
Yeah, it's kind of like they already have their apology letter already, doctored up. Like, oh, we know it's going to hit, so let's get our stuff ready. It, like, every time a company does that, it just seems fake to me.
I agree.
Like,
so they're probably going to do it again. I mean, that was 2018, so that was just a few years ago. It hasn't been that long.
Yeah, some more is going to come up from different retailers. It's going to come up.
Clearly they didn't learn from each other, so they still printed it and went with it.
No, they didn't.
All right, besties. So now we are going to get into our fashion trivia game.
Yay!
Okay, so we got 3 questions. First question: which Black designer created this bomber jacket and what era? Is it A, Dapper Dan, king of the knockoff in the 80s? Is it B, Louis Vuitton in the 90s? Or C, Misa Hilton in the 2000s?
Judging by that little puff sleeve, I'm gonna say Dapper Dan.
I'm gonna say
even though it's Louis Vuitton, I'm gonna say Dapper Dan.
Yeah, I'm gonna say A too. I'm gonna go A.
All right, and the answer is A, Dapper Dan, king of knockoffs in the 80s.
Now, like, I know that they had a controversy. We talked about that earlier, and now he's collaborating with Gucci. They was knocking off his knockoff brands or whatever, but now he's collaborating. All that controversy is put on the table. They have a new initiative, and now they're making sure they have more input for Black voices and originators of different designs. So that's a good thing, yeah. So
awesome. Right, he got them back and got some money. So good.
right. That's what he got.
Good. All right. So number 2, this is one of my favorite quotes. Which famous designer said, "I don't do fashion, I am fashion"? Is it A, Rihanna, B, Gianni Versace, or C, Coco Chanel?
I'm gonna go with C, Coco Chanel.
I feel like yeah, Rihanna and Gianni Versace would say that shit because they just bad bitches. You know, Gianni is like fabulous too, but it definitely was Coco Chanel. I would say I agree with Amanda. Coco Chanel.
Let's see what the answer is. You are right. It is C, Coco Chanel.
Yay! All right.
What do we think I don't do fashion, I am fashion means?
I think the quote means that that you don't let fashion be you. You are fashion. Like whatever you wear makes you. Is kind of like the quote. That's what I believe.
So like that.
Yeah. So it's like basically you don't wear fashion. Fashion is you. So whatever you choose to wear is your personality, symbolizes the person you are, and expresses who you are naturally. You're basically fashion, and you don't wear fashion.
Yeah, I agree with that. I believe like when she said that, she's like, oh, like I can just picture her like diva-ish, like, oh honey, like no, like I am fashion because I make my own clothes. I don't go to the stores and buy stuff like you guys copy off of me, okay? Like I am fashion. You look towards me.
Yeah, she has her own style.
Yes, yeah. So definitely, that's what she meant. Her diva-ish ways.
And I believe like what it means to me. I agree with both your points. But yeah, it's like I'm not doing work, kind of like work in the fashion industry. Like she's a fashion designer, so I feel like it's not like we do what we do. It's like we are what we are. We are fashion. It's natural to us. We're born with it. It's just embedded in us. It's not like it's a job. It's like this is who we are. We don't have to sit there and figure out what is what. It just comes natural to us. It's embedded in us. Right. Like a sixth sense in a way. All right. So now we've got our last, third and final trivia question of the day. What brand was the first to launch blue jeans? Is it A, Dickies in 1922, B, Levi Strauss in 1873, or C, Jordache, 1969?
Oh shit, that's a tough one.
That's a hard one.
I got my thinking cap on for that one. Hold on.
I want to say the 80s, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, because it was more people wearing. I kind of feel like jeans originally.
It was trending in the 80s.
Yeah, it was trending in the 80s, but I think like it was more. I'm gonna say Levi.
Levi Strauss, 1873.
I'm gonna say Jordache, but I could be wrong. I'm gonna try Jordache.
All right, let's see. The answer is actually B, Levi Strauss. So Mandy, you got that one. 1873, yes. Because if you think about it, jeans originated from men having to do a lot of heavy labor in the field. So they needed a comfortable pant that was also movable and sturdy.
Now, I also think about like the Cowboys. Like we watch some Cowboys. Like my granny be watching them, so that's how I know. So like all of that, like that was way before like the 80s. So that's all I
didn't think about the Cowboys. I forgot about them.
Right, but they definitely gained popularity. More so probably toward the 70s and 80s because they started coming out with different styles. So people don't really think about back then. They think about what's going on now. Yeah. But yes, so great job. Hope you enjoyed it and learned something new today. So, Mandy, you want to close us out for today?
Yes, ma'am. So, thank you, Besties. That's our show for today. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and also follow us on Instagram at Major Trend, and meet us here every other Wednesday. This is Major Trend, where
we mean fashion business.
Bye, besties. Thank you.
Bye. See you next time.